Hey everyone, my name is Peter Light with Lumen Energy, and today we're going to talk about how reliable are the solar lease quotes that you might get in your inbox. So let's say you're sitting at your desk and in comes an email, you get a proposal for, let's say, one industrial rooftop you manage in New Jersey, and it says $195,000. And you ask yourself, well, geez, that sounds good, but is that a really a good price? And is that a good deal in the market? And then also, like, how reliable is that? It's a PDF in my inbox. And so we'll talk about what factors influence that. The first thing is those rates that you're getting proposed, they tend to be things that are based on a solid investment grade analysis, but they're based on estimates to start. So someone's probably looked at your roof and they made a rough estimate based on where your building's located. But there are many other factors that need to be really considered prior to that price becoming binding. So there are things like, what's the age of your building? What's the state of the roof? Is a roof replacement required? And then what are the policy incentives? Does the local state or utility allow that to be priced? And a lot of the solar developers, they'll figure that in on an estimated basis to start, but it really gets locked in once you get a binding proposal and then once you ultimately get a contracted lease. And at Lumen Energy, we can guide you through that entire process. But just to give you a sense of a few of the key factors, how you typically start to look at in the process, we'll go through and evaluate your properties and focus on and get all of the roof data and all the property specific data so that the solar developers can give you their price that's reflective of their own financing costs and their estimated cost to interconnect to the grid and get local permits. Those are both permits that require utilities and local jurisdictions to ultimately approve things. So they have some variability, but we try to help you know what the ranges are so you can get really tight. And those numbers are ultimately what, when they're certain, when they're in a fully contracted lease. So we'll guide you through that process to get that lease. But prior, what we do is help you look across, get competitive bids and competitive offers. And so that's why many firms are turning to choose the modern solar broker and get competitive rates and have a trusted friend to help guide them through the process.